Season 3 of Alliance Wars is finally upon us. We had quite the long downtime between Season 2 and Season 3, but finally here we are, the first war of Season 3, the first of 12 wars. I'm actually going to have a playlist of every single war this season linked in the description of this video. If you want to follow along with all of this season's action, you're certainly welcome to do so. For the first war, For Loki is taking on Xoxo, and I also have a new path this season. I will be taking the path 6 to 7 switch, and there's also going to be a lot more mini-boss action this season versus the last, so it's going to keep things nice and interesting here. I did rank up that Void to rank 5 for a reason. That's why I'm going to be on this path, although, you know, at some point, depending on the alliance that we're facing, maybe there'll be a switch to a different path or something like that, but for the foreseeable future, I will be on this path. And I'm going to try my best not to die a single time this season. We'll see how that goes. I did kind of, already put that out in my alliance chat, and they took a couple screenshots. So I really got to try my best not to die here. First note up, this is a yellow jacket on the enhanced special 1, so the unblockable special 1, and also Aggression Fury. The Aggression Fury is kind of annoying if you don't attack them. Every 2 seconds they're gaining a stacking fury buff, and that stacking fury can get pretty nasty. So this node can be a little bit sketchy at times if they're not willing to cooperate with you, but this first fight goes pretty well. I don't get hit by any of the special ones, get a good special 2 here to deal a lot of damage, and he drops from the bleed. There we go. All right, so kicking things off, shaking off the Alliance War season rust on that first fight. Next node up, we have it's a Cosmic Champion on this Bane and Stun Immune node, and I've got Scouter Lens on, so I could see that it's only a rank 3 champion. So pretty happy to see that. Pretty happy to only see a rank 3 versus a 4 or 5, of course. And I'm not sure who's gonna be here. It's Cosmic and it's Bane and Stun Immune, and I'm really drawing a blank of who I'm going to see here, and I probably should have guessed that it was going to be Medusa. Medusa, if anyone was watching the live streams during the off-season, I was doing my Alliance War fights live, and I got kind of destroyed by a Medusa. Not on this node, but it was on one of the mini-boss nodes, and I got wrecked. I got straight up wrecked. And I said I was going to practice against Medusas, and, well, I didn't. And this fight is teaching me that, yeah, I still need to practice, because I have some openings here that I could just attack regularly, do a 5-hit combo. There's no, she doesn't have her 3 Furies, and I know exactly how Medusa works, and I still didn't take advantage of that opening. It's the same thing that happened during the off-season. I ended the fight fine enough here because it was a rank 3 champion, but if that was a rank 5 champion, I need to be playing better. So I'm definitely, absolutely going to be practicing against Medusas, as it could be pretty common to see Medusa on this path. Alright, go ahead and pop an invulnerability boost here. Not necessarily for this fight, but, I had an invulnerability boost that was actually expiring due to trying to save them during the off-season as much as possible. So I figured, you know what, let me go ahead and toss it on for this fight, along with the mini-boss that's coming up next. This is Kingpin, so I'm in here. Did not want to take Void against this fight. Got Stark Spidey, just going to build up 10 poise charges, and away we go. Let her rip. I'm just going to try to bait out heavy attacks and L1s. This way I'm not triggering Buffet from this point forward. But of course, you can't always prevent it, so I'm sure there's going to be a couple of triggers of Buffet as we go on here. I'm a little bit backed up to the left side of the screen, a little backed up farther than I would like. It's without having those 3 starting poise charges with the blade synergy, it's actually pretty annoying to build up to 10. Those extra 3 that you get with the blade synergy actually do a lot for you. But as long as he's cooperating and throwing his L1 like he is right now, this fight should go pretty smoothly here. I haven't gotten hit yet, so I still have all 3 of my my invulnerability hits left in the tank, just in case. But I'm built up to an L2. I kind of want to I was thinking about baiting another special there before letting it rip, but he was so low that I figured, yeah, there's no way he's going to survive that, so he goes down. All right. 3 fights in. We've got, I think, 4 fights left. These paths are definitely a bit longer than they were last season, where I was only taking on, like 3 fights or something like that on average, whatever it was. All right. So we've got a King Group mini boss, and this is Buffet. And it's a little bit different than the other Buffet node. There's no limber on this node, which helps out a ton. But there is more HP on this node, I believe. I think there's more health on this node. So yeah, a little bit of a toss-up of what you consider to be more difficult. I think node 24 is actually more difficult than this one personally. But I'm going to go ahead and use Void for this fight, of course, as you can already see. And I have Resonate on, and Resonate I actually think it helps. Well, it helps just in general when using Void. It really allows you to deal a lot more damage anytime you trigger the Resonate debuff. Not only does it just do straight up some degen damage due to the way that Void works, but it's also helping with the Despair Mastery to lower the healing and then reverse it with Petrify. So Resonate helps out quite a bit, but in particular in this fight, Resonate will help you to switch him into his healing phase more quickly, and that's what you want. You want to get rid of those Fury buffs as quick as possible. Oh, here we go. I get hit with my invulnerability boost on, but hey, check it out. It actually works out because now I have a permanent armor break on me, and with willpower, I'm actually healing up, and I'm going to heal up to full. I'm going to get that full yellow bar. So I'd like to tell you that I did that on purpose, but no, I actually just slipped up and got caught by his L1. But hey, it works out. Look at this. Back up to full HP here, pretty much, and he's about to go down. And there we go. Full bar, 100%. Just saved me a potion right there. So thank you very much to my little misplay there and the invulnerability boost. Okay, next fight up. This is Aggression Armor. I have a rank 3 Tech Champion Unawakened. I'm thinking, okay, I don't know what Tech Champion this is going to be. It's probably just a bluff. It's not going to be Infinity Man. And oh, check it out. It's Infinity Man. Okay, no problem. Just going to mostly rely on heavy attacks. I can get a few clean hits in here early on when he doesn't have all of his armor ups. But now that he's got some armor ups, I'm just going heavy attack style. And I need to practice that a little bit better. I need to practice that more, just realizing that I can't bait out a heavy attack when he has 1 bar of power. Otherwise, he's going to just launch his special, and sometimes it's unblockable. I kind of mistimed one of my attacks there, which is why my L1 didn't connect. Which is unfortunate because that was a good opening to get an L1 in. It's gonna make this fight a little bit more drawn out, but should be okay if I just keep doing the heavy attack strategy. Resonate is helping to add a little bit of damage to this fight, which is nice. If there's a higher ranking Iron Man here, then I'm going to actually switch on these Suicides. Suicides plus Resonate should deal enough damage that I'm not going to time out, because that's the real threat in this fight. Is anytime you're going up against Infinity Man here, you could certainly time out if you don't have enough damage and it's a high enough ranking one. But being that it's only rank 3 and my Void is rank 5, shouldn't really be any trouble here. Especially you could see now that I have a bunch of debuffs applied to him. Yeah, he's starting to drop nice and quick. One thing I noticed is that I'm not really triggering Resonate. I think that has something to do with his armor ups and the way that those work. I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah, I didn't trigger Resonate like at all the second half of this fight, pretty much, once he had those few armor ups. But nonetheless, he's about to go down just naturally from the debuffs that I have. I wish my signature ability was a bit higher. This way these debuffs can come in a little bit faster once Fear of the Void activated, but I'll have to work on that throughout the season here as I get more signature stones. They're all going to be fed into Void. But alright, he goes down, and we are moving on to the next fight here. And I'm going to use Void once again for this node. This is, we have a mutant champion. We've got Recovery, Arc Overload. Okay, so Arc Overload, so it's great to bring in Void for this fight, just in general. And mutant champion with with 0 charges, so it's either going to be Saberman or Bishop, and I'm thinking that it's going to be Saberman. So I heal up a little bit here. Now that it's in the seasons, I'm going to be healing up to full as much as I possibly can, not taking any risks here. I'm just going to go ahead and refresh my boost. I'm pretty sure I'm good to go with just a 15% health boost for this fight, even though I said I wasn't going to be taking any risks. This is still, I don't consider this to be a risk. I've got over 40,000 HP, and very confident when it comes to fighting Sabretooth. Fought him all last season. I know exactly how to evade his abilities. And with Void's reverse healing, this should not be too much of a problem. The big thing to remember with Sabretooth is both his heavy attack and his L1 are both 3-hit combos. So if you get a situation where you have to evade either one of those, it's pretty easy to remember. I try my best to never push this guy to an L2. Occasionally I will, if I just slip up on the power management side of things, but for the most part I try to keep him to an L1. And he's fairly loose with it. Plus, this node doesn't have Limber, so I can parry stun him as much as I want. So yeah, I'm just going to try to finish this fight with as much health as possible, because, again, I do have one more fight after this to go. So I really want to be as healthy as possible for that. But you can see all that regen. Now that I have Fear of the Void and Petrify and a couple of debuffs going, he just degens right on out of there. Alright, so we've got this one last fight to go, and man, this was an interesting decision, I would say, on this rank up. Take a look at this. This is a 6-star cable right here. It's recovery strike back node. That's not that important. Just pay attention. 6-star cable, and this really threw me for a loop. It's rank 2. He's unawakened, and it's cable. it's rank 2. It's got a lot of life, 217,000 HP on this node. So yeah, that it was a little bit intimidating for that reason. But then once I realized, it was like, oh wait, no, it's just cable, and he's not awakened. All right, fine, let's do this. I mean, if he was awakened, it wouldn't really matter here, because Void can also reverse that power gain as well. But still, that totally threw me off. I mean, props to this guy for going against the going against convention and just ranking up whoever he feels like ranking up. I guess he's a big fan of cable. Even though there's strike back on this node, I do go ahead and throw my special 1 because I figured, you know what, I could just bait out the special 2. It's not that big of a deal. Trying to get my debuffs on him as quickly as possible. I want to get that you know, that Petrify going as fast as I possibly can. Just to get that healing reversal. So I've got 2 on him now, and that is perfect. Now I can use my specials without having to worry about strike back at all, as Petrify does nullify and actually can reverse the power gain from that as well. So very confident from this point going forward, and I'm actually going to make a few mistakes. I don't know what happened. Overconfidence, maybe a little bit of nervousness. I don't know. I just kind of flubbed the controls here. You'll see coming up shortly. I mean, up until this point, everything was going perfect. I time out this debuff to land right after Fear of the Void triggers, so it's all perfect up until this point. And then I honestly don't know what happened. I slip up against that L1, and just that little bit of a mistake causes me to make another mistake the next time I try to evade his L1. Normally I'm really good when it comes to evading the L1s. I prefer to bait out the L1 versus the L2. It's just, I don't know what happened, just little slip-ups. Luckily it wasn't enough to you know, risk a death or anything like that, and I do get through this fight with 66% HP still. But I don't know, just one of those weird things that I can't really explain other than I goofed the controls, right? But in any case, that is the first war of the season in the books. That is my last fight. I will not be taking on that Dormammu boss. Happy that I got through the first war without a death. That'd be really embarrassing if I was saying during the off-season that I'm not going to die at all in Season 3. You know, chances are I'm going to die somewhere along the way. But if I died during the first war after talking trash like that, then, you know, wouldn't look good. Wouldn't look good at all. We did win this war versus Xoxo. Good war to you guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.